Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Monster Super League. It's your boy Odin, and today we're going to be doing the brand new Okeanos Astromon review. As you guys all saw, she was released today. There was a lot of information that was released fairly quickly for a new Nat 5. I was actually very surprised that they released her as quick as they did, but I think it also had a lot to do with the fact that as you guys will see, she is almost like a slight reskin of the costume variant of the Light Yuki. And I'll show you guys that in a little bit here. But very first, I want to just kind of go over the developer page to show you guys essentially her art, and then also I don't know if you guys saw, but Smart Study does have a YouTube channel as well, and they did posted a very nice intro to her whenever she's released. I've noticed they've been adding a couple different videos here and there showing the Astromon whenever they're releasing them, so I would say go subscribe to their channel if you want to check out some Astromon content whenever they do or decide to drop anything. But alright, enough about that. I will go ahead and basically discuss some of her new skills, and we'll discover exactly what this thing does. So the new skill being added to the game is offense and defense. Increased attack power by 30% and defense by 50% for all allies for 3 turns. This is a skill that the only so far the brand new Astromon Okeanos has, but however, I will say that given in the past and maybe in a future rebalance, they might give this skill set to another healer, which I think is definitely something that would be useful in other Astromon such as Nat 3s. However, if they do intend to keep it only to her, she's going to be a very niche Astromon, and I don't think that she's anything game breaking or that people are going to need to go for her all the time. I will say that there was definitely some heavy talks about whether or not she would be a replacement for the Water Cura, and we'll go over that here in a little while. But one thing I want to get out of the way, guys, right away is that this new skill essentially only stacks on top of your existing defense and attack up buffs. And this 50 and 30% is not going to be a fixed 30 and 50%. So, for example, Hana has 80% defense up. So when you factor in this defense up by 50%, it's only 50% of her 80% defense up. So you would technically be adding 40% defense up to the 80, which would bump defense up to 120%. But one thing to note, guys, is I'm not entirely sure yet. We will need to do some testing for this, but I don't think that they're going to allow 120% defense up buff. That's a huge buff in itself. It will change Titans drastically if they do allow that to stack. You could potentially see people hitting anywhere between 500 million and 600 million with relatively nice ease, seeing as to how right now the top end game players usually hit 500 million or 300 to 500 million in general. So this is going to be a very huge increase for a lot of the Titan skills, and also in Apophis, which is I guess definitely the only place where I would see it being used heavily in case if you don't have a Dark Venus and in a Hana, or if you only have a slot for one healer, in which I will describe later on. And I will be dropping, guys, my Apophis guides, which will break down whether or not I'm using one healer or 2 healer, and all this may apply to that. But this wording is a little bit tricky here. Skill is stack with each attack up and defense up, which they need to go back and fix that. Skill is stack. That doesn't really make much sense. I'm not sure if they meant to say this skill will stack with each attack up and defense up, or this skill will stack once with each attack up and defense up, or if it's an indefinite loop where you can just keep on stacking it up to a maximum turn, because there says there is a maximum limit of stack and the attack and defense don't increase anymore once it's over the limit. So that's what I was referring to before. I don't think that they're gonna make defense up go up to 120%, and they may keep it at 100% defense up, in which case if your Hana's providing you 80% defense and then Okeana's buff is only providing you an extra 20, that means you bump up your defense to 100% total. That's it. So there's definitely some caveats here, a lot of testing that we'll need to do, but that's basically what I wanted to get out of the way really quickly with these brand new skill. I think it's going to bring a lot more variance when it comes to compositions for Apophis, but aside from that, I don't think that she is really anything game breaking or that you need to spend money for her. I know they released a bunch of packages. Guys, I already did buy my Sandcastle pack, but it's 888 gold. Go make sure you guys go and pick up that pack. It's really easy. These other packs, guys, I don't think you'll need them. Your chances of pulling her from one of these golden eggs is very small. Although it is a chance to pull a light or a dark for 47 bucks or however much you're paying it on your currency, it's a lot of money, and I don't think that she's going to be worth it right now. I would say, if anything, buy it if just for the resources and hog them for the anniversary or for the double crystal rates in November/September. And if you guys don't know, the anniversary is going to be hitting in September, the very first week of September. So make sure that you guys start stockpiling your Astro Gems. As you guys see, I'm already at 18,800, and I'm basically going to try to pack up as many of them as I can. But they did also announce that there is going to be some heroic festival that they're going to release for Okeanos or some special festival. So I don't know. I'll have to see how good it is in order for me to really say whether or not I want to spend my gems or not. They're kind of hitting us with a lot of packs lately, I told myself that I wasn't going to be spending any more money because, you know, I spent like 300 bucks or 400 bucks a couple months ago, and like for me that was like a huge chunk of change because I was thinking to myself I'll never spend that much money on a game, and here I was basically wailing. Although I will say that it was totally worth it. So I mean, give or take, if you have the cash for it, great. If not, I will say this, guys, Monster Super League is a very free to play friendly game. Do not blow your money on stupid things like that. Oh, another thing, guys, I do want to do a giveaway in this video. I was going to basically keep it towards the very end, but I think I may as well do it now. What I want you guys to do for this, guys, is so the reward will be a $15 either Google Play, Apple gift card, PayPal, whatever you want. It'll be 15 bucks from me to you just to go out and get yourself some lunch, or if you want, you can use that cash to buy yourself these Astro Gem packs if you want. I think this one, yeah, will give you 3,600 gems in total. And then this one will give you 1,100, or I should say it's 1,100 gems in total from here, and then I think it's like 4,200 gems from here. So I should put you like right around 5,000 Astro Gems if you want to buy both of those. But and that should include tax or whatever else you got to pay for it. So 15 bucks should cover both of those. Yeah, so that will be from me to you guys. And you know, like I said, I'm gonna give it to you in a gift card. That way you guys can basically go out and buy whatever, or buy lunch or whatever you need. And it'll just be from me to you. It's not like, you know, sponsored or anything like that. It's literally just me being kind enough to give it to you guys so you guys can use it any way you want. And as a thank you for you guys who actually stick around and watch my videos. So definitely appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the content. But all right, I will go ahead and go into the review right now, and we'll start off with the Fire Okeanos. I know her name is a little weird. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be saying Oceanos or Okeanos or what, but I'm just going to call her the OK Astromon Healer. So she's going to be an OK healer. So definitely means that we will definitely be getting another Nat 5, though, I think, for the anniversary with that other Astromon that was released last month, but more on that later. So the first one is going to be the Fire one. She is a recovery type. She does have 33,000 or 3,364 recovery, and if you guys don't know, that is a flat stack for all healers. So all healers come with that base 3,364 recovery, which is nothing different. The HP 30,863, attack 2050, defense 2595. I will say that for defense, she does lack quite a bit. I expected her to have at least 2,800 to 2,900, so she is on the lower spectrum of defense. But I think the reason why she's like that is because she is going to be used with resistance down and 5-star skill, which is immunity. And she's going to be very much heavily used in Apophis only, and so what they try to do is try to make it so that she's not going to be super broken for Apophis or live out your full 20 turns. They do still want you to essentially swap her out for somebody else as a backup. So she's going to be more of a fill her in, she'll die after a couple of turns, and you know, you can essentially replace her. But another place that I do see her being used heavily in is in the arenas. And I do see the reason why they essentially bumped her HP over her defense, and that's because of Mr. Fire Wuchi, who is a double lethal striker who can basically crush any one of your defenders in the arenas right now. So I think that's the reason why they lowered her defense and gave her more HP so that she would be able to live out some of those hits. I will say that she does look very nice, and like I said earlier, she does kind of look like a bit of a reskin of the Light Yuki from the back, and I'm sure you guys can basically go and check out her kit and her model, but she's literally almost like an exact image. Even the wave thing that she does with her left hand, the Yuki does it with her right hand. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and show it to you guys instead of me just standing here, not showing you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take a second to actually do it. So where is my Light Yuki? It'd probably be best if I change this view mode over to the icon mode. So let me go ahead and do that. And I apologize, guys. As you know, Nox is always iffy here and there. So it's just taking a little bit longer to load stuff up. And I know all of you guys know about the struggles. But as you guys can see, look at her dress. It's almost like it's a reskin. They even got the coil at the bottom and everything. And she holds her wand thing, or whatever this disc is, with her right hand. And Okeanos basically does the same thing with her left hand, except she's holding a staff. So I don't know. I think she's a bit of a reskin, and I think that may be the reason why they were able to basically spit her out really quickly. It's because they didn't have to do too much work with her model, which in a lot of ways is a good thing, but also a bad thing, because that means that they're probably going to put in less effort to redo some of these models. So there you go. As you guys can see, she does it with the right hand versus the Yuki she does it with the left hand. Yuki does it with the right hand. But I would say that the colors do look very nice. I do definitely like her aesthetics. She's got some nice thighs, some thick booba up top, so I think she's looking okay. I think for a lot of you guys who are looking for some new waifus, definitely one to have for sure. Okay, so I think that's it basically for the fire one. Resistance down for 2 turns, immunity for 2 turns. I don't think that they're necessarily anything game broken. Like I said, we do have other Astromon with those skills. Like if you'd rather save your Astro Gems, you can basically just get the fire mildew that you can farm in the last story stage. I think the fire one you actually have to pull from the eggs, but he has resistance down and attack up, which is 50%. So I would actually consider the fire fungor or mildew to be a better option than investing in a Nat 5, which will take you a long time to get her to Evo 3 at this point. They also have the same variant leader skill, which is defense dense. It decreases enemies attack power by 35 to 40%. So I think comparable. If you don't want to pick up a fire Okeanos, you can get the the fire fungor, who is a very good option. Overall, though, I think the fire one is okay, mainly built for arenas, and for Apophis, I would say her best set is going to be HP defense, because she is a recovery type and her defense is so stupid low. So I think that's my take on that. For a gem set, I would probably pick a Gem of Protection set as her best set. But if you're using her arenas, you want to go with a Gem of Conviction for that extra resistance. If you have the good substats that you need, you could probably put her on a Bastion set for arena to make her last an extra little turn. Or the Gem of Life is also a very good gem set for her to recover some HP every turn. So that's it. My take on the fire one. Like I said, very limited use. Apophis only and arenas only. And now moving on to the one that everybody has been talking about, which is the water one. If you guys haven't seen it yet, she basically has the same exact skills that the Cura does, or the water Cura does. She has exposed weakness, but of course she's got that new offense and defense skill. Cura gives you a 50% attack up boost, and this one, unfortunately, what it does is it basically forces Cura out of that spot, because you're either forced to make the decision of, do I want a little bit extra defense, or do I want that extra 20% attack up? In my opinion, she's not breaking Cura out of the main spot, because her attack animation is actually much faster than Cura's, which means that if you have an Astromon on the left hand side that attacks faster than her, or after she's left her exposed weakness, somebody else is not going to steal that exposed weakness. So I would still say that she's still the better option. However, I did have a couple of videos that I wanted to show and clip on and put them on here, guys, but what I think I will do is I'll leave a link to the Discord, and if you guys go to my Discord channel, we loaded up the videos there that basically show her attack animation, and she is a lot faster than Cura. So again, I think that for your left hand side, Cura is still going to be your better I guess, pick, because you can pair her up with somebody like the Water Bass. You can pair her up with somebody like the Light Mini Cat, and you'll have your defense up. You can also pair the Water Cura next to a Wood Hana, who is a much better healer than these Water Okeanos. So you should be covered with your defense up and your attack up either way. So I don't think that she's going to be anything game breaking, and I don't think that she's going to be moving Kira out of that main healer spot and leader spot, unless you really want that extra 5% defense, or excuse me, attack down from the leader skill defensive stance. But she's a nat 5. You're gonna hope to have her as a variant. Again, it's much easier to pick up a Water Cura than it is going to be to pick up a Water Okeanos, with a variant skill that's level 6. So if you do pull one, let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Like, I bow down to you if you pull a variant level 6 of her right off the bat, because that would be very impressive, and I would love to test her out. So alright, so looking at her stats, guys, she comes in with 31,600 HP, 2274 attack, 2985 defense. That's the defense that I would have expected on the fire one. And then recovery 3033. So her recovery is actually much lower for the water one, which is really odd, because I think the Hana also has that 3364 or whatever base stat is. But I think what they did is they bumped that up into her HP, because they do want her to live out a little bit longer to provide that defense up buff. So like I said, give or take, guys, I don't think that she's going to be anything game breaking, but she does have a nice higher defense, which means that she's going to be very much useful in Apophis. So once again, guys, I don't think she's replacing the Water Cura in too many lineups, but I think that she will be a nice addition as a backup healer for the Apophis once the Cura dies. Or if you have her variant, I would probably use her first, and then once she dies, I would let Cura basically become her replacement. So she could be useful as a front lineup, and then Cura as the backup, I think, would be a nice replacement. So I think, again, backup healer, not necessarily a main healer, nor is she replacing the Water Cura. Plus, the 3-star skill is 100% chance to expose weakness for 1 turn only, which means you'll need to skill book her to get that second turn. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a lot of essence, guys. And it's also a lot of luck that you'll need to pull all of those books. So I don't think, again, that she's replacing Water Cura anytime soon. Plus, like I said, her attack animation, definitely not. So that's just my view on it. If you have a different opinion, go for it. If it's proven that her attack animation is just as slow as Cura's, or it still works, then great. But in my opinion right now, I would say that it's much cheaper for you guys to build a Water Cura over a nat 5 Water Okeanos as a replacement. Plus, again, the variant skill, guys. That's really what is going to drive a lot of you guys to still use the Water Cura. So that's it for the Water Okeanos, guys. Again, same build for her, HP defense. I will say that it might also work to put her on HP defense recovery on a Gem of Recovery set, or a Gem of Maggie set might be good as well. If you don't like that, you can always put her on a Gem of Protection. So Gem of Protection, HP Defense, Recovery may actually be her best set for Apophis. HP Defense if you're using her in Titans. The reason why you'd want HP Defense Recovery in Apophis is because you want to make sure that when she does heal, she provides more healing, because right now in Apophis, you don't heal every other turn like you do in Titans. You basically have to build up that heal, and if that heal is not built up and it doesn't heal your Astromon to full, you're basically dead. So alright, so that's it for the water one, guys. I will move on to the next one, which is the wood one. And I apologize, guys, I know this is a very long review, but there's a lot of stuff to cover because she is a new Astromon with new set of skills. So the wood one, guys, I think is very, very nice for Apophis. I think she's very interesting. And I think she actually is probably going to be the better of the RGBs for a lot of you guys who need an Astromon like her for a lot of different stuff. So the wood one is a tank type. She has 37,390 HP, so a very nice pool of HP. 2235 attack, 2528 defense, and 2500 recovery. So her recovery basically doesn't matter, guys, because you're going to have your own flat recovery from your other Astromon as it is, and I don't think that she's going to be a major healer for you guys. And what you're mainly going to be using her for is for that shield. So the 3-star skill, full buff breaker, amazing, amazing, amazing for the dark variant Apophis, so that he doesn't get that puncture in the attack up. Definitely a must have. But aside from that, I don't think that it's a major skill set to have aside from arenas, in which case she will definitely be a game changer for arenas. I think the wood one is going to be really, really nice for that. It's going to be, or allow a lot of you guys to basically get rid of a lot of those stupid little, you know, shields and dark valk stuns and all these buffs that are going around in arenas right now that are breaking everything. So definitely a nice buff. Or a 3-star skill for her. The shield, again, creme de la creme right there. That's what you want on the top of a nice buff breaker. She's a buff breaker and she's a buffer. So this is the very first combination that we've seen of her in here, and I think she's going to be very, very useful in arenas and Apophis. So there you go, guys. I think that's basically it for her use, Apophis, and I think also I will say she's definitely usable in the water Apophis, although buff breaker is not going to be useful in the water Apophis because the water Apophis doesn't really give himself any buffs. He actually applies buff breaker to you in the water Apophis, so kind of a wasted skill. I would say for her gem set, guys, I would put her on a HP defense recovery. But because that shield is an HP based shield, you're going to want her on triple HP. And the way that I would basically make that work is I would put her on a Gem of Life set with some really high defense substats. So that way you're maximizing her shield plus the Gem of Life 20% HP bonus, and then her substats will basically be filled with recovery and defense to make up for her lower defense. But again, you know, it's not that bad. But I think that's it basically for the wood one, guys. You know, arenas and Apophis only, no use anywhere else aside from the two. But I do think that I would give her a 5 out of 5 if I was to rate her for Apophis and arenas, because she is nice. Very, very nice, very new combo set of skills, and I think I'll definitely be building one of her up to try her out in arenas for sure. Alright, now here's the two that are basically going to change a lot of things for you guys if you do happen to pull one of these, and that's the light one and the dark one. So the light one is very nice. I do like the variant skill or the variant leader very much, because look at that, you're changing a lot of different colors here. You're going from a pretty bland white to nice and purples and pinks and whatnot, make her look very, very waifu-ish. Alright, so the light one is a defender type, so very much nice right there. Very, very nice. The HP is 28,806, attack 2492, defense 3500, and recovery 2418. The only two things that you're going to want, or the only two places you're going to want her for, is going to be for that Light Titan lineup. And I will say that she is essentially a Venus and a new skill set combined. So I think she's definitely going to be worth using next to Indra in the back lane with basically just Light Indra, Dark Venus, Okeanos, and a Wood Hana. And I think you're basically going to have attack down fulfilled very, very nicely. You're going to have, you know, an extra defense and attack up for Indra. And another thing too, guys, her attack animation is slower than Indra, so Indra will still be able to get that exposed weakness if you are using a Water Cura on the left still for a leader. So I think that she's going to be a very, very nice addition for that back lane. So I think skill books, you can actually turn that attack down, yep, for 4 turns, which is insane. That's the first we've seen of, or no, not an extra turn, just an extra 10%, which means that she'll have a 90% chance to reduce enemies' attack for 3 turns, which is exactly the same as Venus. My fault on that, guys. I almost spoke too soon. But the skill books for the offense and defense skill set does go up or increase her recovery by an extra 25%, which is very much needed given that her recovery is so low. So I think it's definitely a good set of skills for her, and I think that she's actually very nice, nicely balanced for a defender type and for being a light type. So I think again for the light titan, she'll definitely be an A plus type character to have in the back lane with Indra, Venus, and Woodhana. And I can definitely see her being used in Titans as well. I'm not just Titans, Apophis as well. So she's definitely going to be an A plus for Apophis as well. And I definitely think that she could be used heavily on the left hand side as a, you know, kind of tag along healer with the Water Cura, or on the right hand side as a tag along healer next to the Woodhana, a Venus, and your double lethal striker, which would be Mr. Fire Wuchi. So again, for the light or dark Apophyses, very, very nice. And yeah, I think that she's definitely an A plus character. Or I guess for her gem sets, guys, I would definitely put her on an HP defense. Excuse me. If you do plan on using her in Apophis. If you want, you could also put her on a Gem of Life set on HP defense, which will help recover a little bit of health every turn. And since she's a defender type, she'll actually be, you know, getting some pretty nice chunk of change of health back every turn until she can basically get her heal up. So I think she would be nice on a Gem of Life set. Aside from that, Gem of Protection. Always, guys, Gem of Protection is probably going to be your best bet for your healer. Okay, so let's talk about the Dark One. And the Dark One is a brand new skill set as well. What's going on here with my voice? I need to drink some water. Excuse me while I drink some water, guys. Never thought I'd have to stop for a second, but this video is so long that I need to drink. Alright, so the variant one, guys, is very, very nice. The Dark Okeanos is a tank type. She comes in with 40,394 HP. 2262 attack, 2677 defense, and 2425 recovery. I will say this, guys, the Dark One is the best out of all of them. Not because she's only got, you know, max HP or, you know, better self stats or better stats than the rest of them. The reason why she's the best one is because she's going to be very, very much useful for that weaken skill, which can also be skill booked to 3 turns, if I'm not mistaken. No, they kept it at 2. Only 2. Oh, okay, never mind. I mean, she's still technically the best out of all of them, in my opinion. But I was thinking that was 80% for 3 turns. I don't know why I said that, because, you know, when I looked at her kit before, I thought it said 80% for 3 turns, unless they changed that. So, alright, I guess I was wrong. But anyways, I do think that she is going to be the best one out of all of them, specifically for Apophis, excuse me, and for Apophis only. What she does is she allows you to basically have her on the left-hand side next to your Water Cura, giving you a little bit of extra defense and that much-needed weaken. Because right now, for me, I don't have, you know, water vasts to go around for every Apophis. So I'm still lacking a weaken for that left hand side, and so with her on the table, if I ever get her, I'll have one more extra weaken. But I think that she will be a game changer. But I will say this, now that I'm, you know, I thought that the weaken was for 3 turns. Now I'm looking more like the light one might be, you know, on par as the dark one. But I think that the Dark One is still a very, very nice one to pull for sure. Other uses though, guys, not much. I would say that basically only Apophis and Titans is the only 2 places where you'll use the Dark One ever. Arenas, there are better skill sets to use than Weekend for Arenas, and the offense and defense skill set for Arenas is basically useless because you'll have a lot of people with buff break, so completely useless. But yeah, guys, I think that's basically it for the Dark One. I think that I would probably label or put a gem set on her like a protection set with HP defense recovery. Or you could also go with recovery defense on a protection set, since she's already a tank type and she has a ton of HP. So that might work for you guys as well. Or you could even just go full on triple defense as well. So yeah. give you guys lots of options there. But anyways, guys, like I said, I don't think she's anything game breaking. I think there's going to be a lot of other Astromon that you guys can pull that you'll be able to use instead of her. If you like her aesthetics, you could definitely go for that. I definitely like the dark variant one, and I would definitely use her in Apophis if I pulled one. But aside from that, it's not really like, you need to go out of your way hunting and pecking to pick her up. There's other Astromon that you can use, that have similar skill set. For example, the Dark Draka has weaken and attack up. So if you're not really caring much for the heals, you could use the Dark Draka to, give you guys that attack up and weaken buff. So, anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Like I said, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Oh, and one last thing, guys, for the giveaway. I will ask for you guys to write down in the comments your favorite Astromon. And their typing. So, if you like the water Indra, let me know that you like the water Indra. If you like, the light Yuki, let me know in the comment section that you like light Yuki. And that's all you got to do. Let me know which is your favorite Astromon in the game and their typing. And then on the next heroic whatever video that we do here, I'll basically just pick somebody at random from the comments, and you guys will get a gift card from me. And that's all that I'm asking you guys to do for that gift or giveaway. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you all on the next video. Stay tuned. Peace.